Maybe nothing would have happened if Talea hadn't found the demon in the bread box. She'd baked 6 loaves of fresh humberpine the previous day and had left them in the metal-lined wooden container to cool. It sat on the tiled kitchen counter just to the left of the big oval window cut in the south side of the tree, overlooking the riverbank and the willows that clung there like tipsy spectators at a fishing tournament. Half a dozen was a lot to make all at once, but thanks to a petite, highly domesticated preserving spell thoughtfully provided by Clothahump, the bread would stay not only fresh but hot for as long as was necessary. It was also more energy efficient than refrigeration. When she opened the bread box to remove some for supper, she was startled to see, seated against the nearest loaf, a perfectly formed 6-inch-high homunculus. 2 curved horns protruded from the sides of his skull, a single smaller one from his forehead. Gossamer rose-hued wings lay folded against his back. He wore long maroon denim pants with matching suspenders, and his clawed feet protruded beyond the ends of thick rubber sandals. He also owned a hearty appetite. Half the loaf he was seated against had been devoured. She'd caught him red-handed. Of course, with demons, this was not an especially difficult task. Startled, he jerked around sharply when she raised the lid of the box, a double handful of steaming fresh bread clutched in one tiny fist.
"Asmac!"
the creature shouted, waving its free hand at her.
"Poreon faitu! Begone, or I shall make of your life purgatory resplendent!"
"Get out of my bread box!" Talea was not in the least intimidated by the Baroque threat. Fumbling in a nearby drawer, her fingers wrapped around the handle of a small iron skillet and thrusted toward the loaf. Dropping its aromatic prize, the demon scrambled toward the back of the box.
"Emarion Sakarath Sanctus!"
"Never mind that." Reversing the skillet, Talea used the handle to dig at the back of the box. "Get out of my bread!" Though not very big, Talea was deceptively strong, and the demon, sated on humberpine, was decidedly overfed. There was a loud poing as he lost his grip on the rear of the box and went flying, arms and legs akimbo, across the kitchen. He soared neatly over the central butcher block to smack with a slightly wet splat against the rhomboidal window on the far side of the room. There he seemed to hang for an instant, suspended, before sliding down the glass into the dish basin. Hefting the skillet by its handle, Talea rushed to the sink and peered down among the dirty plates and cups. "What were you doing in my bread box? Does somebody have it in for me? Is that it? I'll bet it's that stuck-up possum, Mrs. Genfine up the river. She always stays upside down when we visit." She watched while the dazed demon struggled unsuccessfully to stand. "You're not much of a curse." Something buzzed loudly past her head, and she twisted sideways, the demon in the dishwater momentarily forgotten. This new specter was smaller than the homunculus, with 4 bright emerald-green wings and a long snaky tail trailing behind it. A face once removed from toad roadkill sneered back at her. From its 4 hands hung the crystal salt cellar that had been a wedding gift from her mother.